Hello everyone. In this video we are going to discuss about metals and non-metals, especially the chemical properties. So let's start. First one, reaction of metal with oxygen. What will happen when metals react with oxygen? So generally metals react with oxygen, it gives you metal oxide. Okay. So for example, whenever magnesium plus oxygen reactor, they gives you magnesium oxide. Right now, similarly, sodium plus oxygen, sodium oxide. Is it clear? Next. One more thing you should remember, some metals, especially the potassium and sodium, react vigorously with the oxygen and it can catch fire. So that's why this especially potassium and sodium, they are not stored in open air. Even they will react vigorously with water and it can catch fire because the reaction is highly exothermic. So it is kept in water. Okay, because potassium is most reactive element. Next, reaction of metal with the water. Okay, generally metal react with water, it gives you metal hydroxide and hydrogen gas is released. Yes or no? For example, whenever sodium react with the cold water, okay, so it gives you water, sodium hydroxide NaOH plus H2. Okay, plus heat is released. Okay, that can catch fire. Okay, so that's why sodium is also stored in water. See, next example, magnesium plus water. Okay, magnesium generally react with the hot water. It gives you magnesium hydroxide plus H2. Okay, what will happen when magnesium react with the steam? Whenever magnesium react with the steam, it gives you magnesium oxide MgO plus H2 gas is evolved. So now here aluminum and iron, they do not react with cold water as well as hot water. So they will react with the steam. When the formula of steam is H2O only you have to write a Z. G stands for gaseous state. And whenever these two metals react with steam, it gives you metal oxide plus hydrogen gas. For example, aluminum plus steam give you aluminum oxide plus hydrogen. Iron plus steam, iron oxide plus hydrogen. Okay, so Fe3O4. Yes or no? Next. So you can note it down. Metals plus steam gives you metal oxide plus hydrogen. So generally aluminum, zinc and iron react with the steam only. Next, third properties. Reaction of metal with the salt of other metal. This is also we have studied okay, in the first chapter, that is displacement reaction, single displacement reaction. So generally what happens, metal A react with salt of metal B gives you salt of A plus metal B. For example, iron plus copper sulfate gives you iron sulfate plus copper. So you can see iron is more reactive than copper, so it will displace the copper from its salt solution. Yes or no? So we have reactivity series that you should remember. This is the reactivity series where elements are arranged in the decreasing order of their reactivity. Okay, so potassium is most reactive. You can see potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, lead, tin, hydrogen, copper, silver, gold, and platinum. So when you move from top to bottom, reactivity decreases. Here you can see least reactive is platinum and most reactive is sodium. Yes or no? Sorry, potassium. So next reaction we can see reaction of metal with the acid. Generally metal react with dilute acid. It gives you salt plus hydrogen. Okay, so metal plus acid gives you salt plus hydrogen. For example, sodium plus hydrochloric acid gives you water, sodium chloride plus hydrogen. Zinc plus dilute sulfuric acid gives you water, zinc sulfate plus hydrogen. Magnesium plus hydrochloric acid gives you magnesium chloride plus hydrogen. Yes or no? So this is also a kind of displacement reaction. Okay, sodium being more reactive than hydrogen can displace the hydrogen from the acid. Here also, zinc is more reactive than hydrogen. Here magnesium is more reactive than hydrogen. You can see the reactivity table. The metals, those all such metals which are above the hydrogen in the reactivity series can displace the hydrogen from the acid, like zinc, aluminium, magnesium, okay, copper, calcium. Sorry, not copper. Okay, calcium. Yes or no? So you can see. Okay, so this is a reactivity series. Reactivity series is nothing but it is the arrangement of metals in the decreasing order of their reactivity. So from most reactive to least reactive elements are there. So this is also very important concept. You should remember. You can see here zinc plus copper sulfate. What will give you whether the reaction will happen or not? Yes, it will happen. Where is the zinc? Here. Where is the copper? Here. So zinc is more reactive than copper, yes or no? So zinc can displace the copper, so give you zinc sulfate plus copper, yes or no? What about aluminium plus hydrochloric acid? Where is aluminium? Yes, of the hydrogen, yes or no? So aluminium is more reactive, so aluminium can displace the hydrogen from the acid, so it will give you aluminium chloride plus hydrogen, yes or no? Next, we discuss what will happen, okay, when metals react with non-metals. Metals react with non-metals. Activity series. Yeah, this one. Metals react with non-metals. Okay, even reaction of metal with the base also you should see. Okay, here you see reaction of metals with a non-metal. Generally, metals react with non-metal by ionic bond. What is the ionic bond? The bond which is formed by the transfer of electrons from a metal to a non-metal. So let's see. Okay, metals react with non-metals by ionic bond, or also called as electrovalent bond. Okay, what is ionic bond? The bond which is formed by the transfer of electrons. Okay, now for example, if you see NaCl. Sodium is a metal, chlorine is a non-metal, yes or no? So, how they are combining, how they are reacting, you can see sodium, atomic number of sodium is 11, so it has 11 protons and 11 electrons, yes or no? Electronic configuration, KLM, first tell 2 electrons, then 8 electrons, then 1 electron. To become stable, okay, by which rule? Octet rule. Okay, it should have 8 electrons in the valence shell. So, to become stable, it loses 1 electrons, become what? Na plus, yes or no? By Na plus, you can see here proton number will be 11 only, but electrons number change to 10, as it has one extra proton and proton is positive charge. To show the presence of extra proton, we are adding plus, yes or no? Similarly, you can see chlorine atom. Chlorine atomic number is 17, so 2, 8, 7. To become stable, it will gain 1 electron, yes or no? To gain the octet rule. Okay, so it will form 2, 8, 8. Same, here proton will be 17. Okay, but electron how much? 18 electrons. As it is having one extra electron, that's why we are adding minus, because electron is negative charge. Yes or no? So overall you can show that sodium, which is having one valence electron, chlorine, which is having 7 valence electron, one electron is transferred from sodium to the chlorine. Sodium becomes a plus charge and chlorine becomes minus charge, and in this way NaCl is formed. We know that unlike charges attract each other. Yes or no? So this is also called as electrovalent bond or ionic bond. Okay, so you should remember some properties of ionic compounds. Okay, what are the properties of ionic compounds? Like ionic compounds are generally crystalline solid. Okay, you can see NaCl, that salt which we eat, that is a crystalline solid. Next, it is generally soluble in water but insoluble in organic solvent. Next, organic compounds, or sorry, the ionic compounds are generally a good conductor of heat and electricity in the liquid state. Okay, especially electricity in the liquid state or molten state, but they are poor conductor of electricity in the solid state. Why? Because in the solid state they do not have free ions, whereas in the liquid and molten state the ions are free. Okay, you can see here the ions are free. Okay, if we talk about NaCl, see in the molten state or aqueous state, it will release Na plus ion and Cl minus ion, which is free to move. Because of the free ions, they will conduct electricity. Okay, ionic compounds, okay, are having high melting and boiling point. Why? Because of the strong ionic bond. Okay, so force of attraction between the atoms are very strong. So properties you can note it down. Properties of ionic compounds. Properties of ionic compounds. Generally, first property, they are crystalline solid. They are crystalline solid. Okay. Next, high melting and boiling point. High melting point and boiling point. Why? Because of the strong ionic bond. Questions will be asked. They are generally good conductor of electricity. Good conductor of electricity in molten or aqueous state. the molten or aqueous state. Due to the presence of free ions, but are insulator in the solid state, because in the solid state ions are not free to move. Okay, insulator in solid state. Insulator in solid state. One more we can remember, they are soluble in water but insoluble in organic solvent. They are soluble in water but insoluble in organic solvent. Insoluble in organic solvent. What do you mean by organic solvent? Like petrol, kerosene, diesel. Okay, so they are insoluble. Is it clear? Next, last reactions you can remember, reaction of metals with a base. Generally, metals react with a base gives you salt plus hydrogen. For example, zinc plus sodium hydroxide gives you what? Sodium zincate plus H2. This is very important. Zinc plus NaOH. Sodium zincate is what? Na2ZnO2. Okay, plus H2. Yes or no? Reaction of non-metals. When we talk about non-metals, non-metals are less reactive compared to the metals. We have only reaction with oxygen is there. Non-metal react with oxygen give you what? Non-metallic oxide. For example, C plus O2, CO2, S plus O2, SO2. Non-metals generally do not react with water, do not react with acid. I hope you understood these chemical properties of metals and non-metals. If you have understood, please share with your friends and subscribe the channel, like the videos and comment. Okay, thank you.